G'day guys, Jason Ninja here. Today I'm just going to show you a quick video for like hip impingement. So people that feel compressed when they bring their hip up into hip flexion. So I'll just show you how I would go through a quick assessment and treatment for that. So getting Ninja to relax his leg there. And then what I'm going to do is just let that drop, Ninja. There we go. So you've got to make sure they're relaxed so that you can get a true indication of passive movement. Can do it active as well. So what I'm feeling for is where I start to feel some restriction in the muscle. So I can start to feel some restriction coming up there, but then I can also get feedback from Ninja when he starts to feel it more. So a lot of people might get to 90 degrees and start to feel compression or like something's getting caught deep in the hip here. So I just like to feel where that starts and then where we can actually get to. So some people get to here and they've got a hard end range and there's no movement. Other people you can get a little bit more and then they might start to get some pinching. So I just like to use that as a bit of a guide. After I treat each spot, I'll come back and see what's changed and how it goes. So we'll start off with iliacus, one of the hip flexors. So just coming in here, nice and slow. So slowly sinking in, getting in, take a deep breath in and out. So this one, you've just got to take it slow, especially if it's the person's first time getting treated in their hip flexors. It's a pretty raw, pretty sore spot to get treated. So if you're starting off with this one, it's important to just slowly sink in and allow them to relax. If they're really tensing and fighting up, it can make the treatment a bit harder to get to the spots that you need to. But if you like our content, make sure you like and subscribe. Comment on any videos if you want anything specific treated or you want to see something done. If you actually want to learn from us, we've got online courses. We've got a Fix It Yourself program if you can't come in and see us in person. You can also be mentored by Ninja and Aaron. There's heaps of video content on there if you just like watching treatment. Hours of content on there, isn't there, Ninja?
60 hours.
Yeah. Or if you want to get fit, we've got fitness courses too. So you want to change your life if you're stuck in a spot, change your health, you want a complete overhaul, jump on and go through one of them. I highly recommend.
Yeah, much more than what you'd think in the fitness course as well, isn't there?
Lifestyle things that you can add in. Just
True.
simple things like why it's good to get out in the morning sunlight or why we are barefoot so often and what the benefits of that is. So, Holistic health.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the treatment. So I've slowly sunk in a bit deeper in there. So hopefully you can see that, Leo. So I just like to hold until I can find the spot. I reckon down a little bit low is there.
Yeah, man.
And then I'll just hold that one, wait for it to release a little bit, and then I can start to take through some passive range again. So I'm going to pick up Ninja's knee, make sure he's staying relaxed, so I can just move it to that spot to start with and feel where it is, and then I'm going to reinforce and take him through some range. So coming up, you'll lose where I'm treating there, but I'm still in that same spot. And then this can also feel where that hip starts to catch or get blocked. And so if he starts to hit there, I might just hold and slowly change my angles in that hip and then start to take him through. And people might say already, it's starting to feel like it's moving a lot better, even though my thumb is in that hip flexor and it's quite uncomfortable. They feel like it's moving better. So pin that for a couple of movements, take it through some range, and then I might come back around and reassess. See if that's changed anything. So from my end, let's have a look. So I feel like it moves better already. So I could feel the first layer of resistance was here. Now I feel like it's maybe there. The next spot I'd go to is psoas, so staying with our hip flexors. So this one's coming in through the abs. So again, just getting under that ab layer, and then I'll get Ninja to take a deep breath in. And out, good. And then one more breath in and out. Hip flexors are one of Ninja's favourite spots. I always somehow end up treating Ninja in the hip flexors, even though he dislikes it. But you can start to feel a ropey spot in that psoas. And to get someone, if you're not sure if you're on it, you can just get them to slightly lift up their knee, and you can feel that hip flexor pop up. And there's a good spot in there. So again, we can just pin it. This can refer into your lower back as well. If you're feeling some back pain, it can refer down into the quad, into that hip crease as well. So you can feel it in quite a few different spots if it is really, really tight through here. And we're just going to hold that. Not moving around too much in here. It is quite uncomfortable, so you can't really massage too much in there. It's just pinning spots. And that movement that Ninja's doing now is sort of creating a bit of a flossing effect. So that's how we can get some movement without actually moving myself. So we're pinning, and I'm sort of pulling back in that way. So with my fingers, I'm pulling down and pulling back towards myself now, because I feel like there's a bit more in that spot there. And I'm going a bit deeper than I would. If this is someone's first time, it might take me a bit longer to get into this spot, because they might be sort of guarding, and yeah, you've just got to build a bit more trust and take your time getting into these spots. They are pretty intimate and can be pretty uncomfortable, especially if you've got some sort of bowel issues or stomach issues as well. That can, yeah, they can all be inflamed around these hip flexors. So yeah, it's all about taking time to get into these layers, but at the moment I feel like I can get in there quite comfortably with Ninja. So pin them for a couple of minutes, and then I might get Ninja to come through a bit more range. So bring that hip up, and then knee towards your chest, and that lights it up a little bit more. That can give us another indication of where he starts to get that next layer of resistance in the hip. Let's do a couple of reps of that, Ninja. So bring it up, hold there, and slowly back down.
It's better already.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, one more. And back down. Then we'll go through, reassess again. I can work more along that psoas, depending on what I find. So relaxing the leg, bring it up. And I feel like we're getting a lot further already. So for someone that might have been, yeah, there's no more catching in the hip. If there was, I might actually come in and just hit that hip crease. So move that up there. So a lot of the time people feel like it's the top of this quad tendon here, or pectoralis, the deep hip muscles in there. So we're going to come in just with a broad elbow, forearm, and sink straight into that hip. Yeah, we've had a lot of clients that have come in and they've had scans and they've said, oh, I've been told I've got hip impingement and bone spurs, and that's, yeah, all sounds really bad and really scary, but a lot of the time if you release these muscles that attach onto the front of the hip, if they're all really tight and pulling that hip down at the front, that's decreasing that range in that hip joint because it's all getting pulled together. So if we can release those muscles, that can actually create more space back in that joint capsule and relieve a lot of those symptoms. So a lot of the time people have unnecessary surgery on hip issues that can actually be fixed by this soft tissue work. Sometimes you might require that if it's to the extreme levels, but for the people that we see, a lot of them can be helped and relieved and fixed from this sort of work. So we're just pinning there. I'm not moving too much. I'm just changing my angles. I feel like there's a bit more up that way for Ninja.
Feels alright. Feels good.
Just slowly working a little bit wider as well. Just careful that I don't flick over that big rec fem tendon. It's quite ropey. And just pinning up into that hip, into that ASIS, which is the bone here at the front of the hip. And then I can sort of perform a little bit of a scoop there by pulling back towards myself, and I feel like I've hit another nice little spot there. And then I might come around this side, Leo, so we can look back towards it. I'm going to get my elbow, and this time I'm going to sink down, and this way I can perform a bit more of a scoop, a bit easier for myself. So just off that ASIS, sink straight down onto that tendon. Going a bit pointier with the elbow this time.
Whoa.
And we hit a good spot.
Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, we don't need to do too many flushing strokes sometimes. It can just be these pinning and really targeting these tendons. And yeah, we can do this through clothing, like people are wearing leggings or tights or something like that. Sometimes I just get them straight on the table, and that way I can assess, I can move them around. I don't actually have to worry about having a towel on there, and people feel comfortable with that. So yeah, don't always have to get people into their underwear, but yeah, this way, just for the video's sake, we can show you, and you can actually see the spots that we're targeting a lot clearer. And then I'm just working back out, so I feel like there's a spot there that I'm just going to lean back into. And then by leaning my body weight away, clearing that down. Alright, so I've had a few minutes there. We'll just reassess again. Relaxing the leg. And then moving up. And that feels like we're moving a lot better through there. I'm nearly getting his knee to his chest. So if there's still something there, we'll get Ninja to roll to his side on this way, and we might finish with an EFL. We could also go through the adductors as well, and go through our adductor money spot, which is right up high in the groin. But we'll just show you. TFL is always a good one. Sink the thumbs in. This is going to be a red hot spot.
Always hurts me, Jace.
Always hurts everyone, I reckon.
Yeah.
If ever there's a little party trick spot that you could go to nearly anyone on in the world, I reckon this would be the one.
Wow.
This and the upper trap while someone's sitting down would probably be your go-to spots to just show. This is what we do. This is where it can hurt.
You don't know you got any problems in here till someone...
Yeah, that's right.
Some people would, but, you know, other people, you just don't have that awareness. It's tight and sore.
No, you feel like other areas are the ones that are really holding you back, but yeah, this little magic spot in here.
Yeah.
And you don't need much pressure. A lot of the time, I'm very rarely going 100% on people, and they're like, how hard are you going? And then it's like 50%, and they're like, oh.
Yeah, it's tender.
Yeah, if you have seen one of our 100% videos, we're not making that up. That genuinely hurts, because this is about, probably not even 50% I'm doing right now, and it's, what would you say out of 10 this one is?
No, it's backed off now a lot, but at the start it was like, you know, on the border. Yeah.
So even I can feel down that way.
That's a really good thing. Like when you're receiving this treatment, you can feel the different changes and progressions. Like when Jace was testing me out, I could feel it was moving better and a lot easier, and you don't really feel like much, you know, too much body work's, you know, been done. You know, it's quick.
Yeah. We've been going for about, what, 10 minutes? And we've increased his range so much. And that's not even like, I'd probably going shorter on how much I would focus on those muscles normally. Like normal sessions, we do a 45-minute hour session. So, we'd spend a lot longer on these areas, but you can show that you can get quick fixes by just pinning spots, hitting the right areas. And yeah, there's a bit of a knowing, like when I'm moving the leg through, I'm really feeling for where I think the resistance is coming from, and that's something you just pick up through experience of like, okay, I reckon it's being resisted more in the top of the quad, so I might start with that. Or if I feel like, okay, I reckon hip flexors are playing a role here. So that sort of really guides me of where I want to target with those areas. Yeah, we might leave it there for the session today, but yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned. We'll see you next time.
Done.